yeah, that she love me, yeah, she wow, wow. Hey, I'm not from the West, but it get wow, wow. Hey, free my boy, Lolly, my boy, they beat them chops. Hey, man, I feel like we rest up the pawns now. You niggas better calm down.
Hey y'all, welcome back to season 3, episode 4 of Cupcakes No Frosting podcast. So this episode is specifically going to focus around being a young professional. So I have 3 tips, 3 things that I want to highlight about being a young professional. So for me, my own personal story is, what age was that? 23? 23. Yeah, because I'm 25 now. Makes sense. Okay, so when I was 23, I graduated college in May, and then as soon as June started, I got thrown into the position of being a teacher. I jumped right into the professional world, head dived in, and it was chaos. But one thing, during that first year of like teaching, I teach 11th grade U.S. history, like I've said multiple times before on other podcasts. But yeah, definitely being a young professional definitely opens a lot of doors that I don't think a lot of people either remember once they've like been in the profession for a while, / think about before they get in. So there's like 3 things I definitely want to highlight for you for being a young professional. So the first one is to stay away from weeds. So I am in Teach for America, which is an organization that focuses on moving high qualified people into low income areas to teach. Boom. Okay. And I remember during Institute, it was like a summer thing. We did Institute, we did like summer school, we went to classes. It was a lot. It was a lot, honey, a lot. But we did Institute, and there was this poem that they introduced us to, and I don't even remember what it was called, but pretty much overall it was saying how you, as a new person in a profession or as a new teacher, you got to stay away from the weeds. You got to stay away from people who tend to hate their job because they'll suffocate the life out of you. And I definitely think that's the first thing when it comes to being a young professional, being very intentional about the relationships you make at work. Now me, I've been working for a very long time. I've been in multiple different industries, multiple different jobs. And one thing I take with me is I definitely do not make friends at work and take it outside of work. And that's something that comes with time. Not saying that I don't create relationships, I don't create bonds. But as a Miss Holmes, being everybody friend and going everywhere with everybody outside of work, it's too messy for me. So I'm very particular with the relationships that I tend to make and maintain at my workplace. So a couple of relationships that you want to look for, that you want to have, is you want to have like a mentor, someone who's really, really good at guiding you and like helping you out when you need them. You want somebody who has access to resources, who can really like get you what you need or direct you to where you need to go to get what you need. And then the third one is you definitely want somebody who is linear to what you're doing, right? Because it's really, really easy to see if you're off track or on track or too far behind when there's someone who's doing what you do with you, you know? So yeah, those 3 things are very, very important. I mean, those 3 people or 3 characters in your story are very, very important in your workplace, right? Because you can lean on them for advice. They'll help you. You know, they're trying to push you forward and keep you motivated. People to avoid. Mrs. Susan, do not, y'all, I know it is very, very hard to not want to know all the tea going on, right? But you gotta leave Messy Susan alone, because the minute you and Messy Susan get close, as soon as you and Messy Susan fall out, your business all around the office. You do not want that. I don't do that. Negative Nancy, you do not want. Those are those weeds I'm talking about. You don't want people in your profession, right? Especially as a new professional, as a new person entering your field. You definitely do not want someone who hates their job in your corner. It's not going to do anything but make you hate your work environment and hate your job. And it's not necessarily saying that you hate that person, but they'll keep bringing things to your attention. They'll just keep throwing negativity around you, and eventually you're going to dread coming to work based off of somebody else's opinion. And I know it feels like I'm grown, I'm grown. I ain't gonna let nobody influence me. Lies. they gonna influence you, and you need to be mindful of them. You actually need to avoid them, is what I say. I don't talk to anyone that hates their job. If we work together and you hate your job and you don't want to do it and you're not working, like you're just there to collect a check, we will never have a relationship, because I have a passion for teaching students. If you don't have a passion for it, what are we even talking about? We have nothing in common. So I definitely think you should navigate that same way in any profession, right? If you don't have a passion for what you're doing, one, you're not offering me any valuable help. Two, you just mad. Who want to be around somebody that's angry? No, poo-poo. Touch your nose, mind your business, and leave them alone. So that's tip one. When it comes to being a young professional, stay away from the weeds. You definitely want to be around dandelions. You want to be around people. I think dandelion is a weed. I don't know. Look that up and somebody tell me. Either way, be around flowers, right? Be around people who are going to make you shine, make you grow, support you, hype you up when you're doing well, as well as correct you when you're doing wrong. You also, another one to avoid, right? So I told you to avoid the negative people, people with bad attitude, people who don't like do their job. You also need to avoid people who are like fake happy for you, right? There are people who will purposely like be in your face, smile, kiki, laugh at you because they're trying to find something on you to make you look bad at your job. It sounds weird to think like that, right? But you got to be very cautious about it. Don't put nothing past nobody, especially at work, because you do not know them people outside of there, and they may really have ill intent. So please make sure you're like navigating the space, because it's some people who feel like getting ahead requires me to step on you, and you gotta watch them people, because you gonna be frustrated one day, you accidentally vent to them, and then they go tell the principal or tell your superior that what you done said. Now you mad. You know what I'm saying? Definitely watch the weeds that you keep around you, because they can suffocate the life out of you before you even get good in the job. Two, my second thing was, don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness. So with that being said, right, it's your first year into a job, you're coming into a new profession, you are going to mess up. Some way, somehow, some shape, some form. School can only teach you so much. Education can only give you so much. Real life, personal experience is what really makes the actual finalized professional, okay? So you're going to make mistakes. And I think if you're in a situation where you just really have no clue what's going on, instead of pretending, right? There's this like extra emphasis on people being perfect. And you are a new employee. There's no way you are perfect. You know what I'm saying? And don't put that pressure on you to say that you are perfect. The whole purpose of this is to ask questions. So if you're going through training, if you're going through ask questions. People are so afraid to ask questions because they feel like they look dumb. You know what's gonna look dumb is when they already explained it to you. You didn't ask no question. They asked you, did you understand? You said yes, and then you go mess it up. That look dumb. Ask questions, clarify, get the help that you need, because that's what's going to, one, help you navigate those spaces to see who really want to help you and who don't. And then two, it's going to help you figure out who really know what they doing and who don't. You know what I'm saying? It really help you navigate your space and who you can work with. Because if someone be like, oh, why you ask that question? Okay, so I can't ask you for help. Heard? No, that you ain't trying to see me do better. So yeah. That's another one. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and then don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness. So sometimes communication in the workplace is probably the most critical and hardest thing to do. Because you're navigating a space where it's like, I can't talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to anybody off the streets. It's different personalities. Things can get lost in translation. It's just, when you're working with a team, it's really, really hard with communication. If you, by some chance, mess up, because maybe you didn't ask for help, maybe you weren't in a good mood, maybe you thought they said something, they didn't say it, don't ever be too big to ask for forgiveness or apologize, because that's how you're building your repertoire, your I was going to say responsibility, but not it. Your reputation. There we go. That's how you're going to build your reputation. That's how you're going to build it, right? They know that you're the person who will ask for help when you need it. And then if you make a mistake, they know that you are adult enough and you could communicate well enough to like apologize, right, for the misunderstanding, or, oh, I'm sorry, that's not, I didn't know, I couldn't quite hear you, I thought this is what you meant, I have no problem correcting it, right? Yeah, these are the signs of a strong professional, right? And I think we get into these moments, or we get into these places where we're either way too humble or way too arrogant. And I think to balance that out, you have to allow yourself to ask questions when you need help, as well as, like I said, ask for forgiveness or apologize when you do wrong. Sometimes we don't expect you to come into work every day with the best attitude, but if you have an attitude and you accidentally snap at somebody, go back and restore that relationship. There's no reason for you to have beef at work, period. One, you shouldn't even know nobody that much to have beef at work. That's just me. I shouldn't even know you that well to be mad at you at work, for real. Like, if I don't like you, we gonna move on about our business. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be, no, you should not have no beef at work. And it definitely shouldn't be because you didn't go back and restore a relationship, or go back and restore a conversation, or have a restorative conversation with somebody who you may need on that team. Why would you, like, what's the purpose? Your pride that big, you can't work. This for money, baby. You got to keep your, business is business. Keep your feelings out of it. Everybody who know me very well know I say this. I say it to my students. Business is business. Business is business. You got to leave your feelings out of it. And if you mistakenly put your feelings into it, just apologize. Handle your, be an adult. People are so, like, arrogant sometimes when it comes to, like, I ain't finna say sorry because it's work. It's work. Apologize so y'all can go on about your business and continue to do the business. People forget that your feelings, how you act, communication can interfere with work relationships. Handle it. Restore them. Handle your job. You ain't gotta be best friends with nobody. I'm definitely telling you not to. You do not have to be best friends with not a soul. Do you hear me? But handle your business. Handle your business. Handle your business in a way where your environment is helpful and healthy for you. So that's tip 2. And then tip 3 was, do not let people overwork you because you're new. Listen to me. You need to know what your job requires of you like the back of your hand. You need to know exactly what's in your job description, because one thing about it, and 2 things for sure, you are new. People try to get over on a new child every time, and it be like, just because I'm new don't mean I'm stupid. Just because I'm new don't mean that I'm supposed to do that too. Like, these are not in my, this not in my job description. So you're not gonna get over on me. I hate to say it, but people do that. People have a tendency to take advantage of you not knowing and making you do extra work. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not sure if this is what somebody putting their work on you, let's say you work at the office and this person just keep giving you things to do, you like, just don't. I can't get my work done because you trying to get me to do your work. Have a restorative conversation. If it does not restore, then you talk to your superior. People be scared to go to their superior, baby. They here for a reason. Your superior is here for a reason. Their job is to handle conflict and things of that nature. They are trained to do so. I ain't saying go in there and be no snitch. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you handle your conversations. Handle what you need to handle. But also, if it's too much, you need to be able to talk to your superior. And if your superior don't want to hear you, you need to find a new job. Because that's the tea. Now, that's the tea. Don't let these people overwork you. And don't let these people try to manipulate you and play you because you're young and got energy. People love painting a picture of people young and got energy. So that means you're supposed to work ourselves to death. Girl, I got 10 vacation days just like you do. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take them. Especially if they don't roll over. If y'all vacation days don't roll over, y'all better start taking them vacation days. Do you hear me? Yeah, don't let people try to volunteer you. They love to volunteer the new person. No. If it's too much, say no. If you tried and it becomes too much, give it back. The duty is not, you know what I'm saying? Do your duties, do what's in your duties, but don't swarm yourself. Don't drown yourself in a job and you don't even find a passion in it. Because it can get rough. I, for one, is teaching virtually. I had 105 students. More paperwork than you could ever imagine. I'm teaching 8 blocks currently, which I'm pretty sure is still illegal. Y'all can tell me what y'all want to tell me. Baby, I finished out my year. First of all, halfway through the year, I said, okay, so I'm going to do what I can. Because I was getting to the point where I was so frustrated. I'm like, it's too much. Like, this is too much stuff. And they try to butter you up with like telling you how good you are and how much experience you're gonna gain. Hold on. This is still too much though. This too much. This is unrealistic. So I just started speaking out and setting boundaries. Setting boundaries at work is one of the most important things you could do for yourself. Because if not, they will overwork you. They will abuse it, right? People talk to you crazy, whatever. Baby, I had a conversation with one of my coaches, honey. Shorty flipped out her mouth and was like, you ain't gonna be teaching here just because you let them kids express themselves or whatever I had them do. She didn't agree with one of the assignments. I said, oh no, we're not gonna talk to me like that. Oh no, we straight on it. Okay. I just stopped talking to her. I did not respond. Our relationship has severed. We handle business, that is all. You can't talk to, just because you could talk to whoever you want to crazy. You will not talk to me crazy. Just like I told my principal at a time, we were working and I was just really, really overwhelmed. I was coming to work and I was hating the environment. I was so pissed. And she came to check on me. She's like, are you okay? No, it's too much. It's too much and I can't do this. So then we set boundaries of what I can do and what I can't do. And she works with me and she gave me that leniency, right? Y'all, set boundaries at work. Because if you don't, you'll look up in 20 years from now, you working at a job, you working 4 times as hard at a job that you didn't have to work that hard for. And then you're going to resent everybody else who's not working hard. And you're like, why am I working so hard? Why am I? Because you let them bully you. No. Do not do that. At all. Those are my first 3 tips for being a young professional. Don't let them bully you, overwork you, abuse you. Don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness or ask for permission. Be free. Make sure you restore those relationships. Make sure you keep those relationships open. They do not have to be fabulous. They don't have to be perfect, but they do need to be boundaries set. And then 3, stay away from people who hate their job because it's going to make you hate yours. And what's the benefit of hating your job? Why would you work a job 8 hours a day for a salary that you intend on staying for a long time and hate it? That doesn't make sense. That sucks. So yeah, that is, hopefully it was a short episode. I tried to make it short this time. A short episode about professionalism in your early 20s and how to like really approach that. I know a lot of people are about to graduate and go into that professional world, and I definitely want you to navigate these spaces with boundaries in mind, with yourself in mind, because at the end of the day, that job will replace you and you're left with whatever's left. And we don't want that. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on all platforms, MikelJ_. Make sure you're interacting, liking, posting, sharing. Like this video, please. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.
She said that she love me, yeah, she wow. Hey, I'm not from the West, but they get wow. Hey, free my boys, my boys, they beat them cows. Hey, man, I feel like we rest up the pawns now.